Good afternoon and a very welcome to everyone watching. This is our Christmas marathon craft ideas. I'm Nadine Forster, better known as Mama Tjhoko, and I'm back today to share more creative ideas and inspiration with everyone. Now the items that we are going to make today will be decorative items for any celebration, any festivity, any occasion, whether it's Christmas, whether it's a bridal shower, a wedding, a baby shower. So I'm going to share some ideas and show you step by step how to accomplish a beautiful outcome. So the first thing that we are going to make today is an underplate. So this is what the underplate looks like, some inspiration, and then there's the serviette ring and a serviette. I'm going to start with that and then I'll share the final image of each item before I continue to show the step-by-steps. Okay, so first what you need is any surface, whether it's an existing underplate that you want to upcycle, you can do it on that. This is part of our Tjhoko range and it's an MDF board and it's just cut in a round shape. It doesn't need to be round, whatever makes you happy. Now what makes Tjhoko stunning is the fact that it has a built-in primer, so I don't need to pre-prime the surface. I can simply start painting. So it's a raw MDF or superwood surface. The color that I'm going to paint it is called Ishmael's Ish. And I'm going to use a normal paintbrush. No need to worry what you're using as long as the bristles are soft, and very important is to spread out the paint evenly. Just one coat is needed. Something that I always mention, and I'm sorry for those that have heard this so many times, use colors that make you happy. I'm sharing ideas and tips, but color, pattern and technique remains a personal choice. So I'm just making sure that I spread the paint out evenly. I hope that your week so far has been absolutely amazing. We are nearing the end of the year and it's so nice to start planning and preparing and finishing everything that's still on our to-dos. Okay, so this is step one. In a color of your choice, doesn't matter what. You are going to apply one coat of paint. I'm going to put this aside so that it can dry. And now the fun starts. We are doing it on an underplate, but this is a stunning technique to also do on a wall. Okay? So once your coat has dried, so this is a surface that I have already prepared, and there's one coat of paint on, it is dry. I'm going to use a normal trowel, so don't judge. I live at a coastal area, so everything rusts, but I'm going to show you how to use a trowel and to create a beautiful, beautiful technique. Okay, so the colors that I'm going to combine together, so I'm using Soulful Sanita. I'm going to make sure I have some of my Ishmael's Ish as well, and then also some Alice Gold. During the course of this week, you can see that the pots of paint really worked hard. Okay, how I'm going to do this is I'm going to spread little paint onto my trowel, and I am going to spray. Somewhere on this brush is red. I do apologize. Let me take it out and take a clean jar. This is now the contamination that Kay spoke about earlier this week. Okay, but no stress. It's just paint, so that can be fixed and we can hide it. We just take a clean brush. Now I'm going to add some Ishmael. Little, just on the edge. And I'm spreading that over my Soulful Sanita. soulful Sanita. So I just randomly move between these two colors. Little paint. It's a marbling effect. It is very satisfying and you can manipulate the outcome. I'm just going to rescue. Okay, no rescue is needed. Pablo and Maestro are sorting out themselves. Okay, so now can you see the effect? Once you can see that the colors, very important, so this is important to remember, is it works best when the colors are wet, but at any stage, even once it has dried, and you want to change something, the change just remains remarkable at any given point. I just want to make sure there's some white on this area here. So can you imagine this technique on a wall, focal wall? It looks like a cement effect, and it's literally a few drops of paint. You use very little, because what the trowel does, it actually spreads the paint so thinly, evenly. You can just make sure that all the imperfections are removed. It's rewarding, so rewarding. Okay, and then on that end, I also just want to add some light. So in terms of tips when it comes to paint techniques, contrast is the most important element to remember. Light and dark, or different colors. I don't want to hide what I see here completely. I actually like the subtle reveal of the darker color underneath. How stunning is that? Now something that I just want to add, just as an extra element of excitement, but also this is something that you can decide whether or not you do want to add it. So I'm just giving my trowel a wipe. And now I'm going to use some Alice Gold. Just remember that the metallics are not chalk paints. It is more acrylic metal paint and also water-based. And I'm doing the exact same as I've done with the previous two colors. I add some gold on my trowel. You can see it's not much. And I'm just going to add this to my surface. And in an instantly, you have something beautiful. And it does speak of elegance, sophistication, festivity, and it's just beautiful. Okay, now you are going to let this dry. Now, just imagine this was done on a wall. It is cost effective, it's beautiful, and it is something very unique and elegant. How stunning is that? Okay, so over here, I've got one that has dried. Each board will look different due to the fact that you are making it with your hand. It's not a machine that's doing it, it's you. And the uniqueness are so special. Okay, what I'm going to add to my board now is a stencil. Once again, you select a design that you like. I'm going to, for safety's sake, secure it with some masking tape. I'm going to also share a tip on a newly painted surface, what to do not to remove the paint from your surface. Okay, this is the hardest part of everything. And usually, okay, let me just see if I can, oh my word, why are they making it so difficult? Okay, maybe I'm not going to use the masking tape, I can't see. where it starts, but you use it. So when you use the masking tape, I just want to see if there's not a used one here. When you use the masking tape, and you do want to remove extra tackiness due to the fact that the surface is clean. Oh, thanks, Kaylee. Due to the fact that the surface has been painted recently, it helps when your eyes are young and new, Kaylee. Thanks for helping. Okay, now I can show. So my surface has been painted recently, right? And I do not want to remove my paint with masking tape. It will happen, especially if the paint hasn't cured. Paint takes time to cure and to harden on your surface. You tear off a piece and you just stick it against yourself. Some fabric, even a tablecloth. And then you stick it onto your stencil and the surface where you want to apply your stencil to. So that will prevent the paint from being removed, especially freshly painted surfaces, even walls. It still sticks, it's just not that tacky. So while I'm securing the stencil, 2 reasons. I don't want my stencil to move while I'm busy using it. And secondly, I don't want to touch my beautiful surface with what I'm going to do next, whether it's stencil work or stencil of Paris, paint or the stencil of Paris, and I move from my stencil to my painted surface. So this masking tape actually just gives some more space, working space. Now you can use, if you want to, it's use or lose. I'm just sharing some ideas. You can use paint and you can stencil, and there are various videos where we show how to do that. Or you can use our Stencil of Paris paste, which looks like this. Or you can mix some paint into the paste if you want to change the color. That's something we did last night. But for tonight's purposes, I just want to keep it white. So with a normal paint scraper, also something like an old credit card, squeegee, anything flat works well. You don't need to apply hard pressure. I'm gently, like icing a cake. Just imagine this is a cake underneath. You don't want to press too hard. If you're going to force the Stencil of Paris onto and into your stencil, you will actually move it underneath the stencil. So at a 45-degree angle, I'm just moving my scraper over my surface. I am making sure that I do this evenly. If you want to change anything, say for instance, once you remove the stencil, you notice that there are imperfections. You wait until the Stencil of Paris has dried completely and you sand away any imperfections with a 100 grit piece sanding paper. Okay, I also want to show you this on a larger surface. And there's some gold still on my trowel, which would not even matter. You can also use a trowel, especially if you want to make sure that any imperfections are removed. Okay, I'm just going to add some more paste on this side. And enjoy the process. You are being creative and you are creating something. And there is so much value in being creative. Immediately, you put your mind in a very positive place of being creative and creating things. There's no space for negative thoughts. And once you have completed something, there's that sense of self-appreciation and self-worth. And I'm there to share ideas to ensure that your attempts are a success. Okay, so I am spreading out the paste evenly. the trowel did help to remove any of those hairline marks that are caused by the scraper due to the size of it. And now, while it's still wet, I remove my stencil. This is all water-based, so you can wash your stencil and reuse, reuse, reuse. I'm going to explain now how I have done all the other boards without having to wash my stencil between every single application. Okay, say for instance there's some paste on my surface, I can simply take my finger and remove. This is not something that I can do with paint. So paint, if you want to remove marks, stencil marks, when you have used paint, you will need to do that while the paint is still wet. Now, how I have worked with my other boards is, as long as the back of your stencil is clean, you can add or reapply this stencil now on your next board and continue to stencil, because there's still so much product on top. Okay, I just quickly want to help the dogs to retrieve their treats from underneath the couches. Give me a moment. So it's multitasking of note, making sure everyone remains happy. Okay, and there the board is completed. You don't need to glaze afterwards. You don't need to seal it with anything. This is now done and dust. Okay, I'm just removing out of the way. Okay, also a note, when you have completed all your stencil work and you do want to now wash your stencil, you will use lukewarm water and simply wash and reuse. Okay, I'm just putting out of the way, but also to ensure that nothing gets damaged. What we are going to do next, and this is just inspiration if you want to add something special to your table setting, and also have a napkin holder. So these wooden rings you can find from most fabric stores, and I have some fine boss. I've been working with this the entire week that I got from next to the road, and you can cut it up. I'm just going to use 2 pieces. It's free and it's beautiful. I'm going to use a piece of rope. I really thought tonight I'm going to keep the dogs busy, Pablo and Maestro, by preparing some treats for them. And now it's biting me in the bum because the treats disappear underneath the couch the entire time. Okay, so glue gun, like I've been using the entire week. And I'm just securing them, seeing that I only have 2 hands. And I just tie my rope around them. Okay, and just to hide any imperfections, I'm just going to add some glue at the back. Cut this one shorter. And voila. Now imagine even this as a Christmas decoration. Just want to cut there as well. It needs to be perfect and beautiful. Okay, and there it's done. There's a beautiful serviette holder. You can also add a string to the top and hang it to your Christmas tree should you wish to. Okay, next I'm going to show you how to make beautiful decorations. Now, when it comes to a Christmas tree, it has meaning for us. Of course, a tree resembles growth, and every item that gets put on the tree is a memory. Or it is a thought or a memory of a person that forms part of this tree. Special people in our lives, special moments, also moments where growth could happen during this year. And every day is an opportunity to grow and to better as a human. And if we take all those moments of growth and we can pinpoint them and say this year, this, that, and the next were the things that helped me to grow, helped us as a family to grow. And it can be part of the experience of a family. It can be a very special moment, and also a symbol of growth and of appreciation, being grateful and gratitude for events in our lives. So my next item is stars. So on our Christmas tree, there will be stars. This can also be anything, even something special you can make for any other event. The steps will remain the same. It's just the item that can take on a different shape. Okay, so what I have done is the following. I have selected fabric that I love. Okay, so this is a lovely piece of lacy cotton. And I have a star. The reason for a star gives light. It's in the darkest moments, there are things to be thankful for, to be grateful for. And we need to remind ourselves of that, not only during Christmas, but every single day. But this is going to be part of our Christmas tree to remind us of those things that we should be grateful for. So what I have done is I have added some clear glaze to a container. You don't need much. And I have dipped my fabric in the glaze, undiluted glaze. What the glaze does to fabric, it actually hardens it so it becomes stiff. And it also prevents it from all the tearing out, that there are no frills. Okay, and I lay it flat. This is a Tjhoko paint workstation sheet. So I lay it flat on this. You can also lay it flat on a black bag, plastic surface, because the glaze acts as a glue and it won't stick so easily to plastic. Okay, next, once that is dry, it will feel almost like plastic because of the glue acrylic component in it. And what I have done is I have traced my star onto my surface, onto my fabric. Okay, I then have cut the fabric and the star out of my fabric. Pablo, waar kry jy hierdie skop? Okay, it's raising children and dogs. Maestro is behaving himself so well, but I can't say the same of Pablo. Okay, so the star I have cut out. Okay, so that's the next thing. So dip it in the glaze, allow for it to dry. Once dry on your fabric, you trace your shape, you cut out. I have used the exact same shape that I used to trace on my fabric, and I've pinned it to a wooden board. So there you can see is the star shape, and there are my pins. But it doesn't have the heads, so it's a very flat pin without a head. Okay, usually you use them with those tools if you want to knock them into a wall and you don't want to hurt your fingers. Okay, what I'm doing next is I take wire, and this is the thinnest wire I could find from my hardware store. Here is the pliers, and I'm just going to cut off a piece. Next, I wire, so it's over the pin, underneath the pin, over the pin, underneath the pin, and you wire a star shape on your wooden board. When it comes to the end, I've cut mine out just too short. You will just hook it in. There's one that's done. So that it forms a complete star shape. Also, something that I want to mention is you can manipulate it. So what I have done is I've used my pliers to make sure I shape the wire in a perfect star shape. That my paper, the star shape on my paper, gets perfectly shaped with my wire. Because this will ensure a perfect star shape at the end. Okay. Does it make sense, Kaylee?
Yes.
Okay. So you just tweak and press and work it until it is a perfect star shape. As perfect as you can get it. Okay. Pablo is playing with shells. Okay, now what I do next, it's actually so cute to see. He has given so much joy to our lives together with Maestro. Maestro is the best big brother you can imagine. And they play so nicely together. But it's laughter. At times I do want to shout and scream, I'm not going to lie. But most of the time it's love and joy. Okay, what I do is with my glue gun, I just outline the star shape on my fabric. And you might find easier ways. Remember, this is trial and error for me as well. So by the time it's a live session, I have worked out most of the challenges to just give an easy solution. So what I do next is I place the metal star on top of my fabric. The reason why I want to do this, I have a certain color theme for my Christmas decorations, and I want my decorations, like any event, to just all form part of this specific story. So there you go. At first the glue is hot, so just be careful, but once it has had I would say 10 seconds, then it's easy to touch without hurting and burning yourself. Okay, I just want to add there some glue. So I first tried it without the fabric and then it felt too pale. And that is why I decided to add the fabric. I'm just going to cut this piece off. And also with fabric that's not stiff, this is a tedious job. Okay, so this is the easiest way, or was for me to accomplish this. Now what I'm going to do next, with the same wire, I am going to wire on top, and I'll show you how to do it. But this is what the end result looks like. So this is my star Christmas decoration. This can be something that you give to someone. It can hang over a jar, it can be a bookmark, it can be a door, a key ring. You can even make doorknobs from them if you want to stick them to existing doorknobs. Okay, so the next step would be to take your wire, and you can use more than one piece. So what I did is you can't loosen the entire roll, then it's a nightmare. And everything hooks. And it's like to detangle a hose pipe. Okay, so I'm just going to do this. Cut it loose with my pliers. And then, so very gently, so you start twisting the wire around your shape. But you do want the wire to form a beautiful shape resembling what you have done underneath. So if you're going to press too hard, you are actually going to close the star shape, and you don't want to do that. So very patiently, you are just going to twist this around And this is satisfying, I promise you. Once you start, you just want to continue making more shapes. Okay, so I do turn it around as well so that I can see everything everywhere. Looks beautiful. And once the first few turns have been made, it's quicker. You just all the time see that it looks neat. I'm not sure what he's looking for, Kylie. He's looking for Maestro. And I think Maestro has fled. And you continue. So what I have over here, okay, there you can already get the idea, right? And just to save some time, this is one that I have now made some progress, and you just continue. At any point, if you want to add more wire, you do so. And at the end, you simply add a rope and a bead, and then you have something beautiful. Also, the color of the fabric can vary and can go with whatever your color theme for your event is. Next, we are going to, did all of this make sense? Okay. Next, we are going to continue with some angels. Okay, so in all of our lives, there are special people. I tried to think today of the movie that I once saw. It's based on true events of this little girl that was really very ill, and then the parents tried everything, but she had a terminal illness. And at the end of the movie, she fell through a tree, but that fall actually saved her life. And the mom started telling about the angels that were put on their way. And as she talked about the angels, it actually showed in the movie the people that were put in their lives, the hospital staff, the grocer that was friendly to them and gave a special message, random people. And in all of our lives, if we would take a minute every day and just open our hearts for those special people that get put on our way, we will have not enough space on any tree to add all of them. But in my life, I have, especially this year, have marvelous angels. Okay, this is what we're going to make. And I'm going to show step by step how to achieve the different outcomes. But if you look at them, you don't just see fabric and string and beads. You actually see, for you, there should be something special. So if you see them on your Christmas tree that resembles personal growth, you also give thanks to the people that form part of your story to tell the growth and to share the growth that we all should experience. And we should also be angels in someone else's life that they can put up on their trees of life. Okay, let me show you how to do this. So we are going to need some net or fabric, any fabric that you like. I personally like this color the most. Okay. And what you do, so this is just net, a piece of fabric that I've cut, and you can see how imperfect it was done. It's difficult to cut net if you're one person, but it doesn't matter the imperfection, okay? nobody's perfect, and that's also something to embrace. Okay, so I twist it around my hand. Okay, then I just let it rest there for a while. I need some rope. I've done this already. So you need rope. What I have done is I have thread this bead already. So you fold your rope double and you thread the bead onto the double piece of rope. And what you do, okay, now this was around my hand. I take my rope and I put my net into the rope. So there's the two parts of my rope that I have folded double. Then I just make a knot, just half a knot. So just once, and this is now the neck. And there is an angel. Now to make the wings, you place your angel flat, and you can cut where you want to manipulate, change anything. This piece I'm going to put on her back, that it's not the only single piece of net that's hanging on the side, that it's there. And what I do is I take my rope, I twist it to the top, I add a dot of glue, just a small blob of glue. I press my rope in the glue. I make another wing. Glue again. There's a wing and a wing. And now do the same on this side. We have done so much with the glue gun this week, but it's something that works fast. Just be cautious when there are kids around. The glue is really hot. So only adult supervision. Okay. I just want to cut that part loose as well. And that you now can neaten with a star, a wooden star, or with a seed or anything. And there you have a beautiful decoration for your Christmas tree. If you have, say for instance, white net or white fabric, because we do want to use what we have, right? And you want to change the color so that it suits your Christmas theme. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to, for this, cut her dress. And angels can also be men, like my dad. Okay, so there is her dress. I'll just shape it nicely there. And now, say for instance, just cut it as well, just bear with me so that it's neat and pretty. And now we want to add some color. And what I have over here is green, like a chartreuse green. It is bright and it is hopeful, and yeah, so green is a color that ignites creativity but also resembles growth. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure that piece is also
So that was mixed with water.
Yeah, so what I've done here is hot water mixed with the ashat, any color,
How much paint?
Depending on, thank you, Kaylee. So Kaylee's asking how much paint. So the amount of paint will depend on how much is left in your jar. So it's always nice to mix the last paint that's in your jar with cooled boiled water. And then you can at any point heat it up if you need to by adding more hot water for tie-dyeing, for dip dyeing like I'm going to do now, so that no paint goes to waste. So this was literally the last bit of paint I had left in my 250ml jar. I just shaked it well with some hot water and it's put in here. And then I've added more water because the color was too dark for me. So you can test, the darker you want the color, the more paint you will add. And then the lighter, the less water you will add. So start with small amounts of water and rather dilute more than adding too much water and then you need to waste paint. Okay, so now I'm just going to dip dye her dress in here. And what I have over here is a washing line. I have a sheet underneath and I'm just going to hang her up. So you can dye the entire dress or you can just dye a section of it. And there is an angel with some color added to her. So the angel that I had here is, there you can see what it looks like once the net has dried. And then your angel has a beautiful, beautiful color to it. This is definitely the queen of all angels, my mom, who celebrated her birthday yesterday. Okay, now we are going to have more creative. So who wants to do washing? So just don't do washing and use your washing picks for something creative. As easy as that. What you need to do is you need to take your wooden washing picks apart. The same paint can be used. This one I can maybe still use there. And instead of painting all your picks, you just quickly color them with paint mixed with water. Once again, it will depend on how dark you want your picks to be. And when you dry them, make sure you lay them out flat individually, that they don't stick to each other due to the paint that's on them. Okay, as easy as that. Then it's no tedious job of painting each one individually. Who wants to do that? Okay, when that is done, lovely, lovely craft idea for children. Seeing that it's most exams are now done. And to keep them busy, they don't need to use a hot glue gun. They can use normal wood glue, school glue. And what we're going to do next is we are going to assemble the wooden beads. So we are going to make sure that the two sharp ends are placed next to each other. So glue and stick. Glue and stick. So this now will be done with all the picks. Okay, and what will happen next is we are going to join them together. So firstly, you want to create a cross and you place them together like this. Just going to put them flat that they can dry. Okay. So this is the first step, and you just make sure they're nice and straight. But even the shape of the washing picks allow for this to be nicely done in position. Okay, now that this is done, we will start with the diagonals.
And those are bigger pens.
Yeah, so you get different sized washing pegs. So these are the bigger ones, and then you get smaller ones. You can use whatever you have available, or that's available from your grocery store. Okay, so you simply join them. And also, once again, use colors that you want to use. If you have a colorful Christmas, these could have been all different colors. It looks like a snowflake. It can be a star. Add meaning to it so that there's meaning to it, not random things that get put up. Okay. And you can make another one. Let me show you my end result. So what I have done is I have simply added another one of these, but I have stuck it exactly in between the open gaps, and then with the smaller pegs, and this was done with Creative Crystal. I've just added the smaller star and then something on top. And even this heart Sanita has a special meaning. And this can now go on top of your Christmas tree with all your other decorations around it. I hope I've shown everything. What I'm also going to add to my Christmas tree, earlier this week, we showed how to do the roses. And by the way, there's the wreath that I finished that I said I'll show after the session. So there's that one complete. And all of this, so even this, because this comes from my area. Nature is very close to my heart. My angels, special moments of light and joy will all form part of my Christmas tree. So there are our Christmas decorations, each one with a special meaning and all handmade. I'm just looking around me to make sure I didn't miss anything, okay? I've done everything. Okay, so this is the 4th afternoon of sharing creative ideas. I hope that you have enjoyed. I hope that you can take something from the session and create your own creative moments that has meaning. I'll see you tomorrow afternoon. Have a beautiful rest of your evening and much love. Bye.